Thank you for joining me for the fourth episode of Pueblo Artwork series. I'm Megan Wilbar, Museum Coordinator at the InfoZone Museum at the Rawlings Library. And this week it's very fitting to have the Pueblo Library District collection be featured as we just opened our doors to the public. So in this episode, you'll see works by Judith Pierce, Orlin Howell, the commissioned mural piece on the second floor, John Mendoza, works from the archives. And so all of these you'll be able to see them when you come into the library for the next time. So thank you for watching and enjoy the show.
Library. The library has a healthy collection of artwork both on display and in their archives. Taking a quick tour from the first of the library, Pueblo artists, and Pueblo's history. As you enter the library and walk towards the stairs, you'll see Judith Pierce's Ladies in the Garden. Judith Pierce was a well-known Pueblo artist. She is best known for her tempera and ink resist technique that can be seen in this piece. Her technique involved applying thick tempera paint, coating it with India ink, and then washing the entire surface with water, giving each piece a unique color and texture. She is known for her strong color and design, balanced with her line and detail, in mystical interpretations of the natural world. Of her paintings, she is quoted to have said, "There are mysteries in nature that relate to our own mysteries. In seeking to reveal the mysteries of the outer world, we begin to know the inner self." Judith was born in 1934 in Lebanon, Indiana, and received her BA in art from DePauw University. She went on to teach for 3 years in Indianapolis and moved to Colorado in 1960. She exhibited nationally and also became well known within Pueblo. She created her best-known series of posters in the 1980s for the YWCA. She was well respected and influenced many Pueblo artists. She died in 1995. The library not only has Ladies in the Garden that can be seen on the first floor, but also 3 additional framed works on paper in the archives. Additional articles and images on Judith Pierce are also available for research on the 3rd floor in the Special Collections Department. Continuing up the stairs and heading east to the windows overlooking Main Street, you'll see on the south wall Orlin Howell's Bird Among the Clouds. Orlin Howell was known as the shaman of the prairie. He was inspired by the animals and the mysticism of the prairie around Pueblo. His paintings and drawings include and repeat many of the animals, structures, and landforms of southern Colorado. Some particular imagery are the symbols of his prairie alphabet, which he claimed was a language for use in communicating with animals in the spirit world. This photograph of Helgo shows his painting, A Shepherd in Another Land, which shows his symbols and part of his prairie alphabet. It also shows him in his classic white pants. He once said that white gave him the feeling of lightness and freedom of movement. He was known as an eccentric and an artist that made a great impact on students and artists alike. Orlin Howell was born in 1930 and was raised on a ranch outside of Billings, Montana. He attended Cornell University and moved to Pueblo in 1962. He was an art professor at Southern Colorado State College from 1962 into the mid-70s. He exhibited widely and was featured in the 1974 Southwest Art Magazine. His most prolific years were between 1966 and 1976, a time when he also touched the lives of students, friends, and artists. In 1982, he took his own life. His legacy continues with his influence on local artists. His motifs can be seen in the art of current practicing Pueblo artists, including Ken and Judith Williams, Dorothy Mendoza, David Caracata, Ratto, and Judith Pierce. Also on the second floor of the library, directly across from the elevators, you'll be able to see Banquet for a Spring Day by John Mendoza. This painting represents Mendoza's well-recognized style of paintings. John describes his work as a diary of the man and his view of life. His earliest memories are those that he's preserved in paint, with the vast horizons of the semi-arid prairie, the sunrise over the mesa, and the sunsets over the mountains. John Mendoza was born in 1938 in Trinidad, Colorado, and was raised in Pueblo. He earned his MA in Fine Art from the University of Northern Colorado and taught for 2 years before becoming a full-time professional. His work is a blending of realism and abstraction based on his Southwestern heritage. John is a member of the National Watercolor Society and has numerous national solo and group exhibitions. John currently lives and works in Pueblo with his wife and artist Dorothy Mendoza. His book Southwest Echoes was published in 1979 and features his work paired with the poetry of Charles Rendon. His book, as well as archived materials, are available at the library for further research. Also on the second floor is a large three-paneled mural commissioned by the Pueblo Library for the Hispanic Resource Center. Prior to the mural, the Genealogy and Western Research Department at the Pueblo Library was researching the rich history of Latinos in Pueblo County. The Colorado Humanities awarded a grant to fund the project that would become both a book and a public mural. The book, Spanish-Mexican Legacy of Latinos in Pueblo County, is available for checkout and is the structure for the mural. Dr. David Sandoval, a Borderlands historian and professor at Colorado State University, worked closely with project manager and genealogy and special collections librarian Charlene Garcia Sims to research and write a book that would include contributions of Spaniards, Native Americans, and Mexicans to the development of Pueblo from the 1500s to current day. In 2011, David Osilat Garcia was selected to paint a mural based on Dr. Sandoval's book. Garcia created a mural that represented Pueblo's origins and history through his balanced composition, color, and images. At the center of the mural, a woman holds a heart, which represents Mother Earth, holding the heart of Pueblo, which is also the title of the mural. Looking just below the heart is a representation of the center of the earth. Before the borderlands were known as the Southwest, the Native Americans knew it as the center of the earth. The composition mirrors itself and has the past and present echoing throughout. On one side, wood represents the past and an earlier use of material balanced with the other side of steel that is modern and represents the present. The blue color represents water abstractly, as depictions of Teresita Sandoval, Eva Baca, Juan Madrid, and many others can be seen in figuration. The sun and the moon represent duality and balance. On both sides of the mural, a flag is being pulled down, one side to reveal an indigenous spirituality, releasing a hawk that represents spirit, growth, and freedom. The other side is balanced with a flag being pulled down to reveal a man continuing to strive for education and knowledge. An accompanying legend is directly below the mural to give viewers a chance to view and identify key elements and figures of the mural. The mural was unveiled in 2012. Continuing to the third floor, we're now entering the Special Collections archives. Here we find custom-made storage art bins to house the library's permanent art collection. Within these bins, we can find the work of Evelyn Martinez. Evelyn was born and raised in San Luis, Colorado. She works with intense color to capture the essence of a landscape or person. Her paintings have graced the covers of many commercial publications and album covers. Evelyn is active in the Denver arts community. She's been a member of the Art Students League of Denver for over 20 years and served on the board of directors. She was also an officer of the Colorado Arts Association for 8 years. She is currently represented by several galleries and lives and works in Denver. Also in the archives is the work by Doug Candelaria. Doug is an artist who has been fascinated by cowboys, Indians, and the mountain men of the Old West since he was a child. Born and raised in Durango, Colorado, he was surrounded by that atmosphere and can remember cattle being driven down the streets of his neighborhood. His paintings depict the life and traditions of the plains and desert Indians of the past as well as the modern cowboy of the West. He also paints landscapes showing the beauty of the Rocky Mountains, the southwestern deserts, and the high deserts of southern Colorado. He is shown in several venues in Colorado, including the Sangre de Cristo Art Center. He currently lives and works in Pueblo. The archives also hold a piece of history for the Pueblo Library. This frame print of an Andrew Wyeth watercolor was once available for checkout. The McClellan Library had a collection of well-known artist prints that were available to check out just like books. These prints of varying sizes are now housed within the archives. Although the library no longer features posters in the available checkouts, there is still plenty of art to be seen at the library. I've shared just a few pieces of the collection, and I welcome you to take your own tour of the library to find your favorites.